Hello and welcome to another edition of CN Meets. I'm Martin Fullard and today I'm joined by Paul Scholey, Senior Vice President International of BlueJeans by Verizon. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing great, Martin. Thank you. It's a beautiful day outside, sun shining, so all good. Thank you.
Where are you? It's not shining where I am.
It's lovely where I am. I'm down on the south coast,
Oh, lovely.
which is good. You want that sun shining when you're down there.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, now we're here today to talk a little bit more about BlueJeans by Verizon and sort of what it does. So I thought maybe you could give me the lowdown.
So absolutely. So our mission is to bring video to wherever you are, Martin. That's what we do. We are a provider of what we would call interoperable video communication. And what that means is that whether or not you're trying to have a one-to-one meeting just with a colleague, just to talk something through, a meeting with 10, 15 people, brainstorming, bouncing ideas off one another, interacting, or a more formal style event, which might be the CEO doing a broadcast to his or her 100,000 employees and taking a few questions, albeit not interrupted by a question, or kind of an external event when you're trying to engage an external audience to deliver a message, engage some customers, prospects. That's what we do. We provide a technology platform, video primarily as a means of communicating in all of the above, and that's what we do.
I mean, well, the market certainly wants that at the moment. Absolutely. Now, the events industry really has been through just this almost unbelievable rapid evolution over the last 18 months. And you could argue it was always going to go that way eventually, but it really has been expedited. Has the face of the industry changed forever, do you think?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting point you touch on, because a lot of our technology has been designed for the digital workforce. And what's a digital workforce? It's one that uses digital technology and one that's distributed typically. And, you know, COVID's been devastating. The pandemic's been devastating in many, many ways. And I don't want to forget about that. But probably from a digital transformation perspective, I would argue it's just accelerated a journey we were already on. I don't know how long it would have taken us to get to this point without the pandemic. I'd put it out there, probably no more than 5 years, in that we were going to be all working more remotely, having to manage more distributed teams, and thinking of ways of engaging our colleagues, our customers, our prospects, formally or informally, in that world. So I just think it's accelerated the digital transformation journey by, I'll put it out there, 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And when it comes to the events specifically, I mean, look, we're all desperate to get out and meet people face to face. We want to do that. Of course, we want to do that. But the virtual event, the hybrid event is here to stay. I think that's a given. I think a lot of the learnings that people have gone through when it was just, I have to continue in some way, shape or form, and I can't continue working, whether or not it's events or whatever, face to face. So therefore, what do? And let's just do everything virtually because we had no choice. Now we've gone through that and people are going to be thinking, well, that wasn't ideal, but it was actually some things we learned and can take into the future by having done that virtually. So the events industry has changed. It's coming back, I think, which is good with the physical element to the events, but also we're going to have far more hybrid events, people using the learnings, using the technologies that they've adopted through necessity over the last year and a half, to actually enhance the experience going forward and making it a phygital, which is a word we are going to become familiar with, which I must admit I already don't like, but a combination of physical and digital is going to be the norm, I think, without a shadow of a doubt. And there's many good things there. There are many, many good things about that.
Absolutely, and like you say, the rapid pace of change has kind of forced people's hands. They've been forced to kind of get to grips with it, and you could argue that that's what the industry sort of needed. So, with that in mind, is it really it's the job of the industry, such as yourselves at BlueJeans and others, to guide event buyers through this new age? Because a lot of them perhaps are going to be a little bit overwhelmed. They've had this technology just thrown upon them, and that's what their clients now want. So we've got to hold their hands, haven't we, to a point?
Yeah, and when you say that pace of change, get used to it is what I would say. Someone said to me a couple of years ago, and they said to me that, Paul, the pace of change will never be so slow again. And I thought, what are you talking about, you crazy fool? Do you know what we've had to go through over the last couple of years? You know, I just need to rest. I just need to pause. I just need to take stock of what I've done over the last couple of years. And of course, then the pandemic hit. And it was obvious that the pace of change is accelerated, and it will continue. The pace of change will never be so slow again. And look, when it comes to, you know, we're obviously supportive of that. We can obviously facilitate that. We can obviously accommodate that. And we are happy to help guide people into this new age. We've got a lot of experiences. We speak to people all day, someone like yourself, Martin, we speak to people all day, every day that are trying to figure out how to take advantage of the capability that technology brings, work in this hybrid world. What is best practice? You know, what are the technology constraints? You know, where does physical and hybrid and digital merge? How do we accommodate both? What's the best way of engaging the audience? How do we take advantage of some of the adaptations that technology can bring to engage a wider audience, to use pre-recordings, to engage with the audience in an interactive way? We are very happily to talk through that with any customer. We've got many customers that we can introduce people to. So yeah, we do absolutely help people in this new journey.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, you guys must have had to learn and evolve and adapt as well. How has BlueJeans sort of evolved to meet the market needs? Because I don't think the market knew what it needed for a while.
So, like I touched on, our technology has adapted and changed. I mean, for example, I'll give you a silly example, right? Virtual backgrounds. I would argue all of the time back in the office when we're debating should we have this feature in our product set, I said, well, that's silly. It's a nonsense feature. It's pretty important when people are working from home because you don't know what's behind people. There might be the kitchen, it might be the office, it might be children playing, you know, it might be elderly relatives, it might be my washing hanging and drying. So, you know, virtual backgrounds are pretty important when I'm not in the office. So, you know, we have evolved massively in terms of the way our technology supports the holding of virtual events. So the virtual background is just one, but it's ways of interacting and engaging with the audience is important. You know, we've had to try and improve and enhance that. We've had to be able to, whether that's polls, whether that's chats, whether or not that's, you know, breakout rooms for a more informal chat, for example, because we're all used to breakout rooms when you're going to go through some formal content. But what about breakout rooms just to enable people to chat and talk through what was delivered at maybe a keynote presentation? You know, we're looking at ways of replicating the social interaction that we all get and we all like from a physical event. So, you know, if you and I had worked together 4 or 5 years ago, I might hunt you down and say, let's go grab a coffee, Martin. I can't do that in a virtual event. So how do I interact? How do I give us the ability to hunt each other down and maybe have a little bit of a chat? How do we facilitate that? We see the need, we've improved the capacity because lots of people think that, you know, perhaps 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people was a decent capacity pre-pandemic. Now people are saying I need to be able to broadcast this to 50,000 people. Whereas in the pre-pandemic, we might have used maybe 5, 6, 10 breakout rooms in an event. People now say they need to have 150 people in different breakout rooms to accommodate. So it's all together to do with, ultimately, if I could summarize it, it's designing technology which meets the changing needs, and that is a distributed need. There's a distributed workforce. It's better ways to engage your audience. It's how do we enhance the experience. Our objective is to make a virtual event better than a physical one, right? Now you can argue that's not really doable, and we could debate about that. But our objective has always been to make a virtual meeting better than a physical one, right? And then it's a choice. Do you have a physical or do you have a virtual? But it's our objective to make a virtual one better than a physical one.
That's really interesting. It's a really kind of refreshing way to look at it. Last question then. I mean, the technology, the event technology landscape has become hyper competitive over the last 18 months, and event planners who maybe previously were pretty not used to it are kind of looking into the abyss here, going, well, I don't know where to start, I don't know what questions to ask, where to look, or whether that platform's right for me or not. Why should someone consider BlueJeans over its competition?
The first bit of advice I would give anyone before they sort of why BlueJeans is, what is the objective of the business? You know, what are you looking to do What are you looking to achieve by using this event? And what does your platform need to support? So, for example, is it an internal event? Are you trying to engage potential prospects to generate leads? Are you trying to inform and educate some of your existing customers? Are you trying to have an event to generate feedback and share some research and get people's input into your roadmap? Think about what the objective of the events that you're trying to run are, and there will probably be many. Categorize them, whatever it might be, and look for the pieces of technology you need to support each style of event. I think that is the most fundamental. I wouldn't want people to come to BlueJeans for an event that we don't support as well. I think we support all events very well, but let's just really, really make sure you do your homework and understand the needs of the business, what I would say. Then, if you think a little bit about why BlueJeans, we think it's important to have an event that can accommodate, not like I said, not 1,000 or 2,000, but 50,000 people, and potentially be able to stream that out to social media live so you can take it to a bigger and a wider audience. I think that's important. What is the scale? If you think about 50,000 people attending an event, you're probably going to need 150 or so interactive presenters to be able to do that. So you don't want to be constrained by the number of presenters you can have running. You don't want to be constrained by the number of breakout rooms you can have. So that's important. You've got to look at ways of engaging the audience to make sure you've got very interactive ways of engaging audiences, polls, questions, Q&A, comments, being able to go and meet up in a breakout room and have an interactive session. It's very, very important that you have a good moderator capability. A lot of people that attend don't see that, but you've got to have a good moderator capability with a dashboard that you can monitor live events, that it's got intuitive and robust controls, so you can get ahead of any issues, so you can problem solve, and so you can troubleshoot. So I think those are the important things. And then the other thing is you've got to make sure that particularly presenters can join from wherever they are. We've always designed our technology for a distributed workforce, because I might be coming in from an Android. I might be coming in from, hopefully I'm not if I'm presenting, but it's quite possible, I might be in a hotel room. I might be in an office. I might be presenting from a beautiful boardroom with beautiful conference equipment, or I might be presenting from a hotel room on an Android device, or a Windows laptop. And I might have to come in through HTML5, just through a browser, for example, because my laptop might be so locked down, I have to be able to do everything from a browser, not being able to download an app. So those are some of the things I would say people come to us for. Large capacity, large audience, large numbers of presenters, the best way of engaging and interacting with an audience. And basically, it doesn't matter where you're coming in from, what device you're coming in from, what browser you're coming in from, you've got the capability to contribute in the way that you so wish.
Absolutely. And I believe that you're offering a free 14-day trial if they visit your website. How can they find you online?
That's absolutely right. BlueJeans.com. To be precise, BlueJeans.com/products/events. Go there, you'll learn everything you need to learn. And there's absolutely the ability just to try before you buy. Give it a go and let us know what you think. We'd be delighted to talk to you.
Great stuff. And we'll pop a link to the website in the description section of this video. Paul, it's been fascinating talking to you. Thank you very much.
Pleasure talking to you as well, Martin. Thank you.